Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bane of War Variety channel. Today's video we're going to be doing is we're going to be back in Minecraft here in the world. It's been a while since we've done this, so we're going to be focusing on the construction remodel of the restaurant. I'm showing you some photos and things on the coming up here that of what it used to look like. So this is a restaurant that my friend built and wanted me to work on. And so this is the new remodel that we've done. Expanded it, got a new design, got a new plan, and we started construction on it. Now, what I'm going to be doing in this video that's different is instead of just showing it all when it's all done, everything's finished, and then showing you what it looked like before, we are just going to be going through it in stages. So we're starting out with walls are up, main ceiling is in, and the sewer rough in. So if you're not familiar with this stuff on this channel in this Minecraft world where I do all heating and air and all the mechanicals and stuff that you didn't think was possible in Minecraft, and I try to make it as realistic as possible to how things are really built. I have pipe and all this stuff that I add in just in the vanilla game. So if you're new to this, you watch the earlier videos in the channel, it'll show you how this all got started out. But we're going to be going over the sewer and drain waste and vent rough in for this restaurant today, and the basic part of this construction, and we'll be moving on to the next stage as that gets completed. So this is the overall look. As you can see, we've added different walls. We made it higher, different ceiling type, just making it look more restaurant on the outside. Made some extensions back here. Added some things. So the biggest thing you're noticing though is the old municipal building, which I'm showing you a photo of that was here for years. In all my other videos, it's been tore down because it's an eyesore and it will be rebuilt later. I was actually going to do that first before this, but then I decided to do this. And then that municipal building will be rebuilt. So that used to be over here, and actually in the spot where some of this new restaurant add-in is, that's been tore down, and that will be redone at a later time. So we have that. So I'm just telling you about that real quick. So we added bathrooms. As you can see photos of the inside before. The floor has all been dug up. We put stone down. Added bathrooms on this side. Ladies and men. We're going to have diner seating. It's going to be all like booths and stuff all along these walls. I'm going to put two big hearth fireplaces here. And then this is going to be the ceiling level, and then up here will be where I'm running all the pipes and stuff and all that. And we'll have another hearth down here, and then we have more seating all along these edges. This will be where you walk in. There'll be reception and stuff where you get your checked in and reservations and things like that. And then you'll have seating in this area, tables and chairs, and then you'll have the bar area will be right here. So we have the basic design down, and then this will be the kitchen in here, and then this will be the freezer room, which has also been added for the food. It'll be kept in for lower temperatures. So now we're going to get to the main showcase of this, which is the drain waste and vent sewer, all the drain lines. So this is all the underground. The floor is marked by this yellow. This is where your floor is going to cover all this up. So you're not going to see any of this. So this is either going to be this is the men's bathroom. So we have a floor drain and these will all be stalls. They're all spaced exactly accordingly apart. So when I put the floor in, they're all one block away because that's where my interior walls are going to be. So this will be the outside wall. We have this, we have granite base. That's what you're going to see on the outside. But on the inside, we don't want to see that. We want to see something like whatever I'm going to make the inside wall. I haven't decided yet, but you don't want to see brick on the inside. So the toilet has to be spaced far enough out that it can sit against the inside wall, which is going to be 1 block in. And then this will be the drain. So the floor level will be right here. You'll be standing right here, and you're not going to see any of that. But that's just where that's stubbed up to tie the drain in. This is the vent. All sewer systems have to be vented. All the fixtures have to be vented, so to let some place for the air to go out when you flush the toilet or shut the sink off or whatever. That's a vent going up, and these are clean outs because this is the main line leaving, picking up all the urinals and the toilets, and then it goes out into the main sewer that picks everything up in the building and then leaves the building with all the crap in it. So but since it goes in a sharp 90, which you can't do in a sewer in real life, none of this stuff actually works how it's supposed to. It's just for looks, and I like doing it because I did it in real life, so I like to replicate it here. But anyway, you can't 90. You have to use 245 fittings in real life, like you see on the right. But since we can't do a 45 angle in Minecraft and look like that, and you can't really create a pipe with that. We have to 90 straight in, put a clean out at the end so you could stick something down there if there was a blockage. Now, in reality, this would never work this way because sewage doesn't travel flat. If you have a flat pipe, it'll just back up. It doesn't push through. It has to be sloped downhill, which I try to do as much as possible here, but I can't, so you would have to pump it, but we just ignore that in this game. This is a trap, so if this is the pipe, this is necessary part of the sewage system. If you have a pipe going like this, then you add a downward section and then come back up and leave. So sewage flows like this. Water lays in the bottom part. It keeps the sewage gas from coming back from the sewer out at the street, coming back through here and up through the sink drain or the floor drain that has holes in it, and then you smell crap in your building, which nobody wants to smell. So water lays down in here, and that gas hits the water and it can't go past it. So it sticks right here, and then you don't smell that back up here. So that's done at the sinks and the floor drains, because the toilets already have the trap built into them. So that's a trap there, and this is the sink drain, and that's the trap going down and then coming back up and dropping into that. And that leaves and drops into this sewer. Again, sharp 90 in, should not be allowed, so we just have a clean out at the end, which still wouldn't work really, but we're just adding that for looks. Then we come into the kitchen area, so we're gonna have a grease trap, which is in restaurants. It's usually outside in a parking lot, but in here it can be in the kitchen for smaller establishments. All the drains in the kitchen, the sinks, the floor drains, the dishwashers, all that, all go into a trap that separates sludge and sewage from grease, because it would clog all your lines, and then you just clean the trap out periodically. You have a maintenance service comes in and just does that. So the grease will lay down here, and then the outlet's lower than the inlet. You have all your crap coming in on this level and leaving on this level, and that's taking that stuff to the sewer, and the grease will just lay in the bottom and you clean it out and in a period of time. So all these drains either go directly to the grease trap or get tied into one that goes directly to the grease trap. So these are going to be commercial dishwashers like you see on the right here, and they have a sink next to them, so they all get tied in to a floor drain with a trap and drop right into that. These are going to be our main sinks over here, another commercial dishwasher and a floor drain for that, and that's all going into here. we're going to have a floor drain in the freezer room in case you want to clean it in there and you need somewhere for the water to go. Goes in there. Floor drains here, all go in there. And the floor drain for the mechanical room, this is where I'm going to have my electrical panel, my hot water heater, and water meter that's partly done here, and all that stuff is going to be in here. And then it's going to, that floor drain leaves and just goes directly out to there. But the main grease trap line leaves with all that crap and heads directly out. We just have a big line running straight down the middle of the building, picking all this stuff up and then leaving with all of it and going out to the main sewer, which we'll get to. So that's all done in here. That's what that looks like. And then this is going to be our bar area. We have 2 floor drains here, and 2 sinks here and here, and they get vented this through here. And then go up to the roof since this roof is on already. This is just here to show me where it's the edge of it's going to be for reference. In real life, you would have a floor plan and all this stuff, and everything would be mapped out where everything's grown. You wouldn't have to figure it out as you go. But I just do for this gang because it's not that critical. Actually, this isn't connected. You have to use a fence gate to connect fences to walls. Different types of pipe for that. So we have that. And then we have the other bathroom. This is going to be ladies. Same setup, except we just don't have urinals this time. It's just 6 toilet stalls. And then this needs to leave. This still needs sorted out. It has to get a line that's exiting the room. I haven't figured that out yet. This is different for some reason over here. It needs reorchestrated. So that'll get wrapped up. But that's where that's going to be. It's going to run right out to here and drop into the main. That line leaves. Here we have the main building trap, P-trap right here. And then we have the main building clean out or vent going out too. And then it converts to the different sewer pipe to travel down to the main. Sharp 90 again, we have a clean out. We also are going to be adding different clean outs along here. That hasn't been done yet because it travels so far. But like in real life, this would never work running a sewer this long distance flat like this. The sewage would never flow, it would back up and clog. That's why they have to be sloped accordingly, but we can't do that. This is where it goes down to the main sewer, as you can see here. It hasn't been tied in yet because we're awaiting me finishing everything up first. This red line is going to be where the pavement of the parking lot is going to stop, and I'm going to have shrubs and decorations in there. And then this is just a rough idea where the parking lot's going to start, but it's going to be fixed because I don't like that. Yeah, we have some of the stack vents for the sewage terminated through the roof already. So we have that. And yeah, we have beams here that I ran to support the ceiling. It's a new thing I'm doing. And then that's really so far about it as to what we are going to be called. This is going to be called a Thompson Eatery after my friend. So that's just been there to remind me of that. And that's about everything that we have done so far for that. So on to the other things that have changed since last video. The utility mains have been downsized in certain areas. So if you remember, if you watched my other videos, See it on the right where I showcase when I ran all this pipe underground for water and electric and gas and all that stuff. They were super big before. See how big it is compared to what it's supposed to be. You would have a segment in the ground like this. You would have, this would be the side of your pipe, and this would be the top. So these are still underground to an extent, but certain points have been downsized. That would be your pipe that's running inside the ground. You see how much bigger that is compared to this. This is for water main, supplying water to everything. This is the new pipe. That's really all the larger mains are running certain places. This is more of a transmission pipeline that would come out of a treatment facility or something like I have over there. Same with gas. The gas mains are the same size. They've been downsized to this. That's all the bigger gas main usually is supplying most places, unless it's a transmission or a gas pipeline that's heading a long distance or supplying a large amount of gas to something, and it needs to be really big. But for going into the housing plans and stuff, they're not going to be that big. So they've been downsized to give me more room in the ground to do other stuff with, because you only have one block and you hit the top of this and you can't. So that's a change that's been done. Just right here, as you can see, we go past here, the mains are still their normal size, because I want these valves to operate those, because it's still close to the plants, the gas plant. Like I said, if you're not familiar with what I'm doing here, you haven't seen any of my other videos, feel free to scroll down the channel, go check that out. And me building all this stuff in order. You can see how it's coming along. This is where the road's going to be entering. And that's all the utilities and everything. So that's one of the things that we've done. And then that's really about it. That's all I've had time for lately with my personal things I've been doing. But I've added some more detail to the reservoir. If you're not familiar, this is the Earnsay Reservoir where the city gets its water from. And it goes through that treatment facility over there. I've been adding all this detail in. But this was already here. I added some more stuff earlier today. We had this section over here, this oasis area. And then I added I like to add strange things to it, like urban legends of the reservoir and stuff. I added this boo-face man in here. Dungeon monster hiding at the bottom of the reservoir, stuck him in there. And then we obviously have the old man of Earnsay Reservoir, floating log, inspired by the old man at Crater Lake. And then we have the new copper golem in here. So just a couple bizarre things to add to it to give it more life. And then I added some more leaves over here. And you can't place these on water. You have to put barrier blocks under them for them to work like that, but it looks like what leaves fell out into the water. So that's what we have so far. No other real changes. Main focus is getting this done. But like I said, I'm going to make videos in stages of the completion. So in the next video, we're going to have the floor down and everything. We'll probably have the ceiling up maybe. And we're going to be running the other utilities, the electric and the gas and the water. We're going to get that set in place for things. And then get this freezer room built up, seeing how we're doing that. Probably going to have some fence area back here because it's close to the reservoir flood area. But yeah, we got a couple more things to change up with the sewer, and then we'll be good, after I make this video, I'll be good to move on to the next phase of construction, is doing those other things. This is where the old water line came through back here. It used to go right in right there. I kind of rushed into it, my friend running pipe and stuff, but it's been cut out, so that's going to be rerun. Probably to the same place, but I didn't know how far this would be coming out, so but yeah, that's how it's looking as of now. There's a couple more things to do with the sewer, and then we'll be moving on to the next setup, and we'll be getting into heating and air for this place as well, which I got a plan for that. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. So please like, subscribe, so it helps with the Band of War Variety channel, and stay tuned for upcoming videos. We're continuing World War II series, and we'll be working on this as well.